Web3 Bridge was a hideout for me. So before I came to Web3 Bridge, something happened. I lost a huge sum of money.
Oh.
Yeah. I was doing crypto trading and all. So coming to Web3 Bridge was just, I'm not bothering about food again. I'm not worrying about internet. I'll just stay here, learn how to cook. They're taking care of everything. This was like a do or die affair for me. Like, I need to know this thing because there's nothing I'm going back to, because I had to resign from the company I was working to come to Web3 Bridge. I built Resolver CLI as a plaything. Like, it wasn't meant to be something that serious. I was learning Rust.
Okay.
I was learning Rust. And while learning, I like building something. One thing about the Web3 space is that it's moving very fast, right? It's moving very fast. And if you really want to stay ahead of the curve, you have to keep learning. And if you're going ahead, you need to go to all those areas where people are running away from. That's why we did ZK.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Alumni Spotlight. And today we have Big Cas in the house. Cas, say hi.
Hi.
All right, I am so happy to have you here today. Casweeney, Chisom, Ojukwu.
You know my three names.
Yeah, I know your three names. Yeah, I think I have to make research because I've been hearing a lot about Cas. So before we get right into it, I think I want everybody to meet Cas. I know you, but they don't. So let's just tell us about your life before Web3 Bridge. What was it like?
My life before Web3 Bridge. Can I still remember my life before Web3 Bridge?
You need me to remind you.
Okay, so my name is Casweeney Ojukwu. I'm a blockchain engineer. I'm working with Insomnia Labs. So before Web3 Bridge, I used to be in the Web2 ecosystem. I build softwares for companies and for myself. I like building stuff. So if I'm not working for a company, I'm building stuff for myself and all of that. So that's basically it. All
right. Okay. So when I said, tell me a little bit about your life before you joined Web3 Bridge, I was thinking of that you tell me, you studied human kinetics in school, or you like to play basketball and all of that. Oh yeah, I'm very excited. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you studied human kinetics in school, then you play basketball, but somehow you transitioned into tech. So what was it like? Why did you change?
Okay, so me studying human kinetics wasn't the course I wanted to study actually. So I wanted to study medicine. But as at the year where I was applying for admission, because I had to go into the university using pre-science. Okay. So as at the year where I was applying for admission, they weren't admitting students for medicine department via pre-science. It was only pharmacy and all of that. So I now had to apply for pharmacy. But when we wrote our exams and my cutoff wasn't up to the pharmacy cutoff, and I was now a floating student, although my cutoff was very high, but I was a floating student. So they have to consider people that applied for my second choice before me. So by the time they have considered everybody, I was still floating. They just had to dash me any department that was available. That was how I landed my second. And I rejected it. I didn't want to accept it, but my parents were like, I should just do it. Then after my first 100 level, I can apply for change of course. But that was how I did human kinetics and I graduated from it.
Oh, okay. That's great. Now, thinking about how your parents made you accept human kinetics. So I know that you're the first child of first of four, right? If I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
First of five.
First of five.
They went this is digging.
Awesome. All right, that's all right. So I want to know. And again, you're Igbo from Anambra State. And I think I'm the first child as well. So I understand I think we call it black taxes, yeah. So what was it like for you having to cater for four younger siblings, trying to be the role model and all of that? What was it like?
So I don't know, but I think there's a way I've heard this statement like if you're the first child, there's this gift you come with. I don't know how I did it, but there's a way I've been able to like. So in as much as I'm working and I'm making ends meet, I still like, as I give my siblings money, I don't make it flow like it's always available.
Okay.
I still sometimes hoard it so that they understand the need of scarcity and how to work for themselves.
Yeah.
And that is how I've been able to like put two of my brothers into the tech ecosystem.
Wow.
And as I'm talking to you now, I don't even bother about sending them money anymore. Sometimes if I need money, I'll just call them. I need them.
That's a really nice one. That's very great. That's very lovely. So now let's like talk about your tech journey and how like it all started. So I learned that you love to do things, that you love. I think someone said, oh, Cass loves to help people. So speaking about loving to help people, I heard that you learned how to fix phones, how to repair a laptop, and all of that. Now about your whole tech journey, I heard that for you to be able to like learn programming full time, you have to sell your phone. How was that experience like?
Please, why are you getting this?
I don't worry. It doesn't matter. But what was it like?
Well, so how I got into tech was basically while I was getting to graduate from the university, I started thinking about my life. Like, how will I, because I was like, how will I make ends meet studying human kinetics in Nigeria? So I will either be doing antenatal for pregnant women in the hospital, or I'll be a gym instructor, or
basketball coach,
or I'll be teaching PH in secondary school. So, you know, that's that cliche statement they use to advertise courses for you. They say, this is a good course. It's just in Nigeria. If you travel outside Nigeria, it's a very good course and all of that. So while I was graduating, I started thinking about all of this. I was worried. And I fixed phones. I fixed laptops as a means of livelihood while I was in school. But, you know, I remember spending 5 hours trying to troubleshoot a laptop. At the end of the day, the owner, when I figured out the problem, the owner of the laptop said, they can't pay for it. So I had to give them their laptop. Now imagine spending 5 hours, like 5 hours of your day, trying, and you didn't even get any money. So all of these were questionable, and I need to think fast of what to do after school. So that was how I started attending tech events. I think there was one event I attended, 10th in school. That was where I met a guy that told me about School Portal, where he supplies scratch card to schools, 100 naira per scratch card, and based on the number of students in that school every term. So when I thought about it, 100 naira, let's say a school of 5,000 students, that's 5 million per term. So in a year, 3 terms, you're making like 15 M. My adrenaline went up. I was like, wow, this is good. So I was like, how will I learn this whole tech and all of that? So it was like, okay, I can start with HTML and all of that. So I started reading HTML from one app on my phone. I was just writing it. After all of that, I knew HTML very well, like the back of my hands, but I didn't know how to bring everything together to build a website. And I went back to him to teach me, and he was like, okay, this is the amount I'm going to pay and all of that. I didn't have money then. As at then, I've graduated. So my parents weren't sending me money. So I needed to like look for a way to raise up that money and give to him. So what I did was just look for somewhere to buy my Samsung Galaxy Note 3 then. That was the money I paid him, and he taught me HTML.
Like you sold your Samsung?
Yeah, I sold my Samsung to sold Samsung, but you know that Nokia, that small Nokia Touch, that was the phone I started using. So I had to get a modem because my phone served as my hotspot, but since it was no longer available, I got a modem to do all of that and all.
That's a really crazy experience. Or was it like just selling your phone and building, fixing laptop that you're able to like fund your whole tech journey? Or did you also like ship pepper, camera pepper and all of that?
Wow.
Hey, like he's a hustler. I need people to understand that there were sacrifices and like before you got here, there were like a lot of like, so Ted, let's talk about that. What was it like that? Just
wow. Okay. So before I got my laptop, so while I was in school, I see people, like a lot of people, they have laptops, but they didn't know what to do with it. Mostly watching movies, downloading movies and all of that.
Yeah.
So, and I needed a laptop. I'm a tech guy. Like, even if as at then I didn't know I would be coding, I just like tech because fixing phones, fixing laptop. I don't even have a laptop, but I fix laptops. You understand? So I needed a laptop. And how do you get a laptop? My dad buy a laptop for me. My mom buy a laptop for me. So I needed to look for a way to like get my own laptop. So during that, so I think that was around my third year when I did my teaching practice. After my teaching practice, I went back home.
When you say home, you mean like Calabar, right?
Yeah, Cross River State.
Okay.
So it come to be precise. So my uncle ships pepper from Cameroon to Onitsha. And that was during that Ebola period where they locked the Cameroon gate.
Okay.
So they'll have to load it in boats, bring it to Nigeria to Ikomtru River, then offload it from the boat, load it into the trailer, then take it to Cameroon. So what I now do is we are the ones that load the pepper in those trailers. So that was what I was doing. At first, we were the one that supply. So the guys that load the trailer come from Cameroon to Nigeria to load the trailer. So we're the ones that carry the pepper bags from the ground to give to them. So at some point, those guys were charging outrageous money, like to each person is 12,000 naira. And my uncle would be the one to feed them, buy their drinks, buy their cigarettes, their smoke and all of that. So one day my uncle was like, can you guys do this, load this thing? Me and one other guy were like, yes, we can. So we started loading the trailer. So I was the one that normally loads the down part of the trailer. So those guys, if they load the down part, it takes 9 bags or 8 bags of pepper. But if I load it takes 11 bags. So I sit on the floor, match it so that it can contain more bags. So my uncle liked that we load that way because if we load, one trailer carries like 900 bags of pepper. But if those guys load, one trailer carries like 700 or 750 bags. And my uncle charges 1,000 naira per bag. So if we load, more money for him.
Definitely.
You understand? Because he pays the drivers. So that was how we started loading that stuff. And
interesting.
He used to pay those guys 11K, but he was paying us 7,000 naira. So that 7,000 naira was what I was saving for all those period of time. And it got to a point we had to now go inside Cameroon to load. So that was how I raised money, saved for my laptop.
That is a lot. See, I don't even know what to say. Well, that if you're not crying right now, I don't know, because I'm about to cry. So you see, like the big cast, does the like become the big cast? They were like a whole lot of backstory. Anyway, now let's talk about like how like you all started in Lagos. How did you find your way to Lagos from Calabar to Anambra, like to your school, then Abuja where you served? So how did you like find your way to Lagos?
Okay, I didn't serve in Abuja per se. I served in Kaduna.
Kaduna, yeah.
So I've been in Lagos before the whole before the whole tech stuff. I've been in Lagos before. Okay. So my uncle owned a business in Lagos somewhere around Ojukwu. I've been to Lagos. I've been to Tejo show before it burnt and they rebuilt it. Okay. That was when I came for holiday. That was around my JS3. Then I came to Lagos again around 2009 after secondary school. I came to Lagos, stayed with my uncle for a while, and then he had a boutique at Ojukwu bus stop. So I was helping him.
Oh my goodness!
I was helping him sell female wears, and sometimes I order goods from China and help him sell and all of that. So I think we're living an allowance in there. So before now, I've been to Lagos before.
Okay.
But fast forward to being to Lagos now, that was basically Web3 Bridge. So, yeah.
So, like, how did you hear about Web3 Bridge?
So I heard about Web3 Bridge on 2 occasions.
Okay.
So the first time I heard about Web3 Bridge was through Glory Praise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in my tech journey, I used to teach.
Yeah.
I used to teach HTML, Bootstrap, WordPress.
You always had a thing for like helping other people.
Yeah, so I used to teach. So I think Glory Praise was one of the students in one of those training I was taking. And she was asking a lot of questions. So we got very close and all. So close that, we talk, chat outside on WhatsApp and all of that. So if she wants to like do certain things, she tells me, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, all of that. So she was the one that told me that she registered for Web3, Web3 Bridge and all of that. So when she said it, it didn't stick because as at that time, I don't even know I wanted to do blockchain development. She just said it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Good, and all of that. So I now found myself working on the Web3 project.
Oh.
I was struggling while working on it because it's Web3. So while I was struggling and, I don't like being a mediocre in something. So I now asked the guy, the team lead, that like, how did you learn about all of this? Like this whole, because I started watching videos about smart contract before. So, but while I was working on that project, it's now looking like everything I learned is not adding up. I was struggling. So I was like, how did you learn about this whole Web3? How did you learn Web3? He now mentioned Web3 Bridge again. So he now connected to what Glory Praise said and I went back to Glory Praise. I was like, okay, I want to apply for this and all. She was the one that gave me the link. I applied and even the day of my interview, I forgot. She was the one that even reminded me. So I was already 2 hours late into the interview before I started my test and all. So that was it.
Nice. So now you came to Web3 Bridge. Now I want to understand what was like the whole experience at Web3 Bridge like for you?
Okay.
You are on-site student, obviously. So what was it like for you?
Web3 Bridge was So Web3 Bridge was a hideout for me. So before I came to Web3 Bridge, something happened. I lost a huge sum of money.
Oh.
Yeah. I was doing crypto trading and all. So I lost a huge sum of money that almost landed me in the hospital. So, trying to so how will I live from here? Like I've lost almost everything and all. So coming to Web3 Bridge was just, I'm not bothering about food again. I'm not worrying about internet. I'll just stay here, learn how to cook. They're taking care of everything. You get?
Yeah.
So that was it. And coming to Web3 Bridge was like, this was like a do or die affair for me. Like I need to know this thing because I need to know it. There's nothing I'm going back to because I had to resign from the company I was working to come to Web3 Bridge. I'd already prepping for the Web3 Bridge. I resigned the previous year. You understand? Now, because I've already saved enough, right? I resigned the previous year. Then the year where I was supposed to come for Web3 Bridge, and I lost all the money that I've saved, right? So I just had to, the money I even used to take flight, I borrowed it to Web3 Bridge. So coming to Web3 Bridge, I needed to hit it. Like I needed to be good at it because as I'm going back, I need to get something doing. If not, or more, I don't know.
I didn't know her story or this emotional. You guys kind of like it.
Don't cry, you.
All right. So let's talk about Resolver CLI that you built on your own website. Let's give it out. What was the idea behind it? What's Resolver CLI all about?
So Resolver CLI is basically like a CLI tool that helps you scaffold projects and install a lot of dependencies that software engineers need. So I built Resolver CLI as a plaything. Like it wasn't meant to be something that serious. I was learning Rust.
Okay.
And while learning, I like building something. So the way I know that I'm good at something is if I've built up to like 5 different projects with a particular programming language. That's when I can say, okay, I know this programming language. So I learn by building.
Yeah.
So while learning Rust, I decided to build a CLI tool because there's a part of the Rust book that played around CLI. So after covering that chapter, I decided to test it out to build something. That was how I started building Resolver. So, and if I want to build something, even if it's something I want to play around with, I always think about an importance of that thing. That's what motivates me to build. If that thing won't be used, I don't get motivation to build it. So I started building Resolver CLI. While I was building it, I was telling people about it, like my friends and all of that. And at some point, when I build it to an extent, from the reactions I get from people, now looks like this is really important. So I had to tell some of my guys to contribute to it and all of that. And when I finished building it, I published it on crates.io so that people can install it and use it. So let me come back to 001, what it actually does. So
yeah, go on, I'm listening.
Do you know how to scaffold a React project?
No, I don't know anything about work.
All right. So a lot of times, we have different, the programming or the tech ecosystem is very big. You can see someone that writes React, someone that writes Vue, someone that writes Node.js, someone that writes Solidity, and all of that. Now, a lot of times, the way you create a project for Solidity, let's say Hard Hat, is different from the way you create a project for React. And it's also different from the way you create a project for Node.js, which means you need to remember a lot of commands.
Okay.
You need to, for React, npx create React app. Let's say for Laravel, you say Laravel new, or create a composer create new project for Laravel. Now, you see, as I'm struggling to remember all of this. So Resolver CLI is that CLI tool that brings all of this together. So you don't need to remember all those commands. All you just need to do is Resolver, scaffold, Laravel. You give the project name. It does it for you. Resolver creates React project. So Resolver just brings everything together in one place. So you don't need to remember all those numerous commands.
Oh, wow.
That's what it does.
That's nice. Can't always solve any problem. Honestly, that's very good. So let's talk about what has it been like after leaving the Web3 space? What is the growth like? Has it been slow? Has it been steady? Has it been very fast?
After leaving?
Yes, after Web3 Bridge.
Okay, so when I left Web3 Bridge, I didn't get a Web3 job at first.
Okay.
So me and my friends, we did this we had a what do they call it? Accountability group for applying for jobs.
Oh.
So we had a spreadsheet. We apply for a job. We put it in that spreadsheet. So we know we'll have green or red if this went through and all of that. So that's what we're doing. We did that thing for 2 months. We most getting jobs. So, and I needed to get my hands into something. And that was when I saw an offer. So I had to go back to what I was doing before Web3, back-end engineering with Laravel and all of that. So I saw a role for a back-end engineering stuff. I picked it up. So that was what I was doing before I started getting Web3 jobs and all of that. So the thing is, you see, the Web3 ecosystem, it's not the same for everybody. There are some people that have been with a particular company for 2 years and all. There are some persons that have been with a particular company, and when bear market comes, the company will lay off and all of that. So it's different and all of that. So sometimes you work with the company, let's say 6 months, and that's it. But you should know how to save, and you know. And the thing is, one thing about the Web3 space is that it's moving very fast, right? It's moving very fast. And if you really want to stay ahead of the curve, you have to keep learning, because you see those ones that are coming, they are angry.
Right.
They are angry. They are very, very angry. So you have to keep going ahead, so that you stay more relevant. So, and if you're going ahead, you need to go to all those areas where people are running away from. That's why we did ZK.
Sorry, that's really good. So now let's talk about your stack trade bots. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, that's
all right.
Right.
So I hear that it's something that you're currently building with your guys and your team. Let's talk about that. Let's walk us through stack trade bot. What is it all about?
Okay, Stack Trade Bot is a Telegram trading bot that helps you trade seamlessly on the Stacknet blockchain, right? This is the Stacknet ecosystem. So, and a lot of times for the guys that comes from the Web2, do you have a wallet?
Yes, I do.
You have a wallet. You know MetaMask?
Yes, I know MetaMask.
You know Trust Wallet?
Trust Wallet. I know MetaMask.
But you don't know Trust Wallet?
I'm not sure.
All right. Okay, so now, one of the reasons why we have things like Stack Trade Bot are for people like you,
People like me?
Yeah.
All right.
So the reason why I said that is because, sometimes you want to trade and you don't know, you have a wallet, but you might not even know how to connect a wallet, how to perform a particular transaction on the blockchain, right? But with a Telegram trading bot, you don't even need to connect wallet. You don't even need to have a wallet. Just come on Telegram, you click create wallet, it will create the wallet for you, right? You fund it, right? You just send tokens to that address, then you can buy and sell any token you want just via Telegram. You don't need to go through the rigorous process of going to a decentralized exchange, connecting wallet, signing transaction. You don't need all of that. Now, and one of the reasons why we decided to build Stack Trade Bot is because Stacknet ecosystem is an amazing ecosystem with a lot of focus on developers. Devs are building amazing stuff, but they are no users. But users want to trade, users want to make money. So how do you bring these users to Stacknet? You give them what they want. So, which is trading. So trading using Stack Trade Bot, when they see how fast and swift the blockchain is, they can start diversifying into other decentralized applications. So that was it.
Oh, wow. I think I'm going to find it. I see why you said, well, people like me.
Yeah.
I'm not hurt, guys. I promise I'm not hurt. All right. Okay, so let's talk about this. From being a student to being a mentor at Web3 Bridge. What is that feeling like? What's it like?
So being a mentor at Web3 Bridge is a privilege. And also an opportunity for you to give back. And one of the good things about being a mentor with Privilege is that the things you teach, the things you talk about stay with you forever. Because all those smart contracts I wrote while teaching those students, even if I'm sleeping, wake me up, I'll write them. You understand?
Yeah.
All the things I've spoken about, because there's this reinforcement that happens when you're talking, it's coming back at. It gives you the opportunity to give back to people. And it gives you this positive reinforcement that, okay, you know this thing, because you cannot give what you don't have. So if you can teach people and you see them grow, it's a positive reinforcement for you that you know your stuff. So that's it.
That's very great. So let's talk about you said it gives you visibility. I think you like the visibility because you have a YouTube channel, you write blog articles. So your YouTube channel has how many subscribers?
My YouTube channel have over 1,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, over 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, okay. The name of like your YouTube channel.
Casweeney Ojukwu, just search Casweeney. Yeah, you see my
guys. Search Casweeney Ojukwu and subscribe to his YouTube channel. I want to talk about something. Let's take us back a bit. So during your cohort, what was like your favorite person, or who was like your favorite person in your cohort? Why are you struggling?
Favorite person? No, it's been long now. I need to think.
Okay, who were you like closest to during your cohort and all of that? A male, a female?
Chill. So I'm trying to think of a favorite person. I think someone I could easily tell anything was I think Dev Longs. I was close to Dev Longs, and I was also close to Mitch Rentrancy.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very close to Dev Longs and Mitch Rentrancy. Like, yeah.
So from your cohort, there was no like special girl, but you're very close to that you're still close to now.
Special
lady that you were very close to that you're still close to now.
Okay, the lady I'm close to now. Hi, so the lady I'm close to now, weren't that very close during the cohort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, weren't that very close during the cohort.
Why you guys are very close?
We're just more of okay, there is a bug in my contract and all of this. Okay, we'll look at it. This is where the problem is, which is normal for everybody in the cohort. Yeah. So sometimes I have issues. I reach out to Kazim and Ayomide and all of that. So it happens.
All right, but now you guys are very close, especially close. Or anyway, let's talk about something else. So, for you, like your whole journey, your growth currently, like where you are right now, do you think Web3 Bridge like had a role to play or has a role to play?
Web3 Bridge is the Oga Kwata at the middle of that road. Right. So if it wasn't for Web3 Bridge, my confidence in the Web3 ecosystem, I don't think I would have. So, like I said, I was already learning how to build smart contract. But imagine after while you have learned something, but you're still struggling to build something like contributing to a project. But after Web3 Bridge, I could contribute to like any smart contract. We built a project for NAMI, my team, and like we built a project for NAMI and we got paid. So imagine after Web3 Bridge, you built a project for like a blockchain company and you got paid. That's I don't think there's any other positive reinforcement that tells you, okay, you know what you're doing. So that's just it.
That's great. So to like wrap up this session, what's like, if I say, give a piece of advice to like the next gen developers, what would it be?
Piece of advice, like, please help me, like, because if you say piece of advice, next gen developers, a lot of times, like, I don't even know what to say but can you just direct me on the kind of advice?
Okay, so what would your advice be to those people who are looking to like transition into the tech space, or people who are already like, like already on like the Tech 2 track but wants to like transition into Web3? I say Tech 2 Web 2 but want to like transition into Web3.
So the advice I would give is if you're already in the Web 2 ecosystem and you want to go into the Web3 space, just get started, but you need to have thick skin. Yeah, you need to have thick skin, like really thick skin, because it's not getting easier. It's really not getting easier. For instance, there were times where you can just learn HTML and CSS and you get a job, right? But now you need to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Even with JavaScript, you can't get a job. You have to even learn React, learn TypeScript, and maybe Vue.js. You understand? And even the React self, you can't get a job. You have to extend to NextGS. You understand? So it's now harder. for that site. During our time, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you'll be a front-end developer. But now, you need to know React and TypeScript and all of that. So, gone are the days when if you just learn Solidity, you're good. You're good. You just go and start looking for a job. You do hackathon tire. You understand? So you have to grow thick skin to like learn to catch up, because after learning Solidity, you have to build a lot of things. You have to like show proof of work, which is when you mentioned about the YouTube channel and the blog. What I'm basically using those to do is proof of work. Because if I'm telling you that I know this thing, I have to show you something that I've done. Either a YouTube video I made breaking down something, or an article I wrote about the concept I understand. Those are proof of work. So you need to show proof of work. So that's the thick skin I'm talking about. And you have to keep learning, because if you learn Solidity and remain there or more.
All right. So finally, one last word for Web3 Bridge.
One last word for Web3 Bridge. Web3 Bridge is doing amazingly well, and they should keep doing what they are doing. They are doing very great. I've seen the growth of a lot of persons. My two brothers now, they are doing their stuff without me. All times to Web3 Bridge and all of that. So Web3 Bridge is doing very well. They should keep doing what they are doing. And thank you very much, Web3 Bridge, for giving us the parts and and all of that.
Thank you very much, Kaz. This was like a really emotional and educative section. We are happy to have you. Thank you very much.
Can I go now?
Oh, all right, guys. This has been an amazing session with Kaz. I hope that you enjoy this series. Do not forget to leave us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. See you on the next episode. Bye.